Hey guys, what's going on? This is the SC Show. We are live here in nice 70-degree weather. Where, of course, Utah Jazz two guard, perennial All Star and dunk contest winner Donovan Mitchell has been issued to test the market for trades. Recently, the teams on his list over franchises to go is either the Nets, Knicks, morely the Knicks, or Miami Heat to play as a two-way scorer. I feel like his production would swiftly decline over Jimmy Butler's offensive contributions and his leadership skills. I don't think I don't, and it's still going to be a struggling rollover for Tyler Hero. I don't know how they're going to rotate him. Probably he'll still be up in six-man position, or they can push that over to Kyle Lowry for the way he facilitates the offense. I have there's a lot still to do with this NBA roster. Hopefully, Donovan Mitchell makes his best choice and go to New York, just a higher market where he'll possibly be overpaid. He can get his bread. He'll be produced for a more younger unit where he could possibly push for a play-in spot and see what he can do with things. He's still 25 years old since coming out of the 2017 draft. Young prospect, still a perennial scorer. Been over reliant over hero ball. I feel like he's better off going to Dallas and try to compete. But they already have a reliable two guard. But the Knicks isn't a bad option. Thanks. In my opinion, I feel like for ball handling and just facilitating the floor, RJ Barrett should be playing the one. Mitchell should stay at the two, and if they fucking want, just put Randall at the three, for God's sakes. Just put Randall there. He's a scorer. Get over yourself. I'm sick and tired of Randall. If they want him to score, he shouldn't be playing at the four spot. And even with exceeding minutes played and playing more than he did over his 2020 season, Mitchell has still a lot to prove being an undersized two guard. Now, major trade scenarios still have him going possibly to the Knicks over his life being that being his hometown. Knicks needing a perennial all-star to try to garner some hype over missing the playoffs over the previous season. And garner some more excitement. I don't know how that's going to be after they gave Jalen Brunson the bag, but their first option wasn't Donovan Mitchell. That was a terrible mistake by the Knicks, in my opinion. So that's crazy. And RJ Barrett, a necessary sacrifice if the Knicks went Donovan Mitchell. In what aspect? No, you don't trade over your former lottery pick that's been producing over for your franchise. Get rid of Mitch Robinson. Get rid of guys that already been part of your franchise. Don't get guys that already been drafted and partially part of why you guys try to win. That makes no sense. How's he a necessary sacrifice? Jalen Brunson already has estimated contract of 4 years, $104 million. Carson Edwards. Don't forget, DeAndre Jordan just got signed to the Nuggets, and that's right after Andre Drummond got signed to the Bulls to support the five. But he's obviously gonna start. I think they're gonna put Vucevic at the four. That's the extent because of his top of the key scoring. He's not that tall, by the way. Frank Kaminsky signs a 1-year, $2 million deal with the Hawks. Dario Gallinari, 2 years, $13 million. Former Hawk goes to the Boston Celtics. And Isaiah Hartenstein has been the only free agent signing that's been given any time of day. With centers that barely play like centers. Hartenstein can barely make three-pointers. Jericho Sims deserves the money he can get. Hopefully he can prove himself so possibly they can exceed over contract disputes possibly around his 2 years of his deal. If he improves his game, because I like Jericho Sims in the second half of the season. But there's a lot to be desired over with this Knicks team. And there's a lot to still be desired over what's going on over the offseason because things are rolling up a little slow. I don't think a lot of people will go into trying to splurge over the offseason until we got a lot more trade negotiations to see what's willing to sell for like Kevin Durant because he's still in the market. Kyrie Irving is. They're still desperate signings to see what the Knicks are trying to pull so teams can try to keep up. And of course, what's going to happen over with Donovan Mitchell. So it's just a lot of pieces getting rolled everywhere to see what's going to happen. Tell me how you guys feel currently about the NBA. What's going on in the off season so far, and I know NHL off season they are really fast into the NHL off season. I guess because pieces really matter when it comes to trying to set over a team that's formatted a bit differently than an NBA team that's just straight five on the floor and we don't rapidly rotate out unless it's a timeout or like there's some like space like a foul like a injury or a foul that costs over a substitution. So it's a bit more, I guess, more coincidental whenever it comes to how we rotate our depth, unlike an NHL team. So I can see why the NHL rolls, a bit faster around the off season than the NBA that takes a bit of spatial time because we have a lot more head cases in the NBA than you hear in the NHL. You don't hear a lot of major personalities in hockey than you do in basketball. And that's coming over the NFL offseason. Of course, we have training, summer camp training, and then we're just a month away from preseason. College football is about to open up in probably a couple weeks, so football's gonna come back real soon. Before you know it, right now we still have hockey and basketball off season, and the baseball All Star game to still come. So just tell me how you're feeling about what's going on right now in the sports world. That's it from the DST show. Comment down below how you feel about what's going to happen over to Donovan Mitchell, or else what else you believe should happen around the offseason. Thanks for watching. That's it for me.